As a creative, what's the thing that you dread the most? For me, it's fear of a blank canvas. I've been doing graphic design, illustration, and art for 20 years, and I still wrestle with this. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to deal with this forever. So the best thing to do is acknowledge it and figure out a way to move on. And that's kind of what I wanted to share. There are a variety of reasons that I go through this, and I know I'm not alone. Right off the bat, the first thing is having too many options. That's usually a bad recipe. So I feel like creativity is, I think, it works best when you have some sort of limitations set on you. Again, whether they're self-imposed or if somebody else is setting them, whether it's money, time, color palette, media, the size of the artwork, whatever it is, they need to be there in order for you, I think, to be able to process and like set a path. Another one that I run into all the time is overthinking. I have this misconception that I need to plan and control everything, and I just sit there and stare and at a page and nothing happens. Because I'm just stuck in my mind. And, I think the best thing at that point is to just realize if you start moving your hand and drawing something or putting an idea down on paper, that's when things, momentum builds and things happen. So, the goal is to just start. So, the third one is pretty complex. There's so many different angles to it, but just fear. We all have fears of so many things, but as far as creativity and art practice, I think we're always fearful of our own expectations of creating this masterpiece, or you think you have this vision of something amazing, and you're trying to live up to that expectation, and it's really challenging. So I think perfectionism and that kind of expectation is it's just unhealthy. So just try to shed that, like get rid of that up front. Another one is fear of failure, and I think that mostly comes about from comparing ourselves to others, which is what we all do now on social media. It's healthy to aspire or learn something from different artists, but it definitely crosses the line when you get a little bit too fixated on what somebody else is doing, and you're trying to do something very similar. So I just don't think that works out very well. Another silly one for fear is preciousness of the materials that you're using. I get all psyched out if I'm using an expensive piece of watercolor paper and maybe I only have 2 of them left, or I'm using expensive markers or inks. I know it's stupid, but that might be something that you're dealing with. So maybe change it up and use something ridiculous like kids Crayola markers or crayons. I do that just to get out of my own head from time to time, and I think it works. It sets really low expectations, and I think that's the key. Another one is just inspiration. I feel like we sometimes get this backwards, at least I do. I think that I need to wait for inspiration to happen in order for me to create art. And if you follow that concept, you're going to find yourself not really doing much. At least, again, that's what's happened to me. So I think inspiration happens as you're working, when your hand is moving, and you're responding to accidents that are maybe happening, or you see something differently than what you had envisioned originally. I think that's the key. Like, that is really the key to inspiration and to using that inspiration. So those are kind of the 4 things that I find kind of haunting me and giving me this paralysis. I think a good way to overcome this is maybe do a drawing challenge, or find drawing prompts that give you some constraints and prevent you from overthinking. I mean, it checks off all the things that you shouldn't be doing. But that's what's helped me in the past is, trying to draw something random that I didn't really think of, again, through a prompt on Instagram or whatever. But I think the important thing here is we all experience this, we all deal with it. It's hard to get out of our own heads sometimes, so it's nice to have somebody else online talking through video or a comment and expressing the struggle of the fear of a blank canvas. And I'm just happy to contribute to that conversation. So I hope this was helpful, and good luck.